Hey guys, it's one of those days where I just recorded a really great video and I didn't even press the record button. So here we are, round two. This is gonna be faster because I used up all my words. 5G, the East Sector ETF. We have tried to set a weekly higher low, and we have been looking at weekly higher lows for quite a while. So the most recent one is 25.30. We saw a good green day last week. If we go to the daily time frame, we can see there's that move. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're looking to set a daily higher low. Looks like we've locked it with 26.07. Resistance at 26.53. So this is about as optimistic as the bulls can get. Bulls want to get over 26.53 for upside continuation. MAXR on the daily time frame. Actually on the weekly, looking for a similar situation, trying to hold our low of last week as that weekly key level, 1550, and then we have 1590 support on the daily time frame. We can see that we are a little bit choppier here, trying to establish a change in trend, but overall it's a tightening range so far with 1590 holding, and today's bearish attack has been bought up by the bulls. So we have resistance at 1845 and 1892. Anything under 1845 is going to be a continuation of this tightening range that we see on the 4-hour time frame. Not an equilibrium, but an overall tightening range, and bulls need to maintain the strength to get out of that weird, ugly pattern. MAXR is not one we usually cover, but I did want to talk about it because we had some great trading opportunities on it. We saw a big flush, we saw our low of day, we saw a tightening range here coiling up against our EMA 12, and then we saw a burst of strength. So we're not always going to be able to capture these moves or even anticipate the big volume breakouts like that, but what we can anticipate is the consolidation that happens after. So in this case, we see a run up, we see consistent base of support at 1733, that fails, and we get real lack of follow through. In fact, we establish a second base of support at 1725, wherein we get a triple bottom, and then we start to be able to use that as a base of support. So once you see that 1725 acting as a important support level, you can place your entry stop loss just on the other side. And if you had managed to capture that break of 1733, a former support become resistance break, then you're off to the races. So can't always capture or even premeditate those big breakout moves, but we can manage the consolidation patterns that we see after them, and those are almost always going to be the most optimal and low risk entries. AVGO on the weekly time frame, we're moving fast today. 303.35 is that weekly higher low, and now we are seeing a tightening range here. Resistance at 319.88 and lower day support 310.30. If we go to the daily time frame, here's that chop. So bulls are trying to carve out this 310.30 as an important daily higher low. If we see upside continuation tomorrow, we'll have considered that to be set. Then bulls will be looking at a resistance break of 319.88 for upside continuation. If they fail to do that, we're going to be looking at a 4-hour tightening range. So that's something that the bulls need to do. SWKS 111.45. We haven't locked that. This is only 1 day's worth of trading action, so bulls need a lot of proving to do. Our resistance at 120.67. If we go to the daily time frame, here's the action today, and we're coming up against some key support and resistance levels through our EMA 12, 26, and 8. So a big cloud of resistance. Bulls need to get over top of that. If we're able to do that, then we're looking at that 120.67 and 121.07 area of resistance. I would be more keen and interested in a position if and when we get over that 121.07 area. So that will have us locked in that weekly higher low and see potential for a test at 128.61. MRVL doing its very, very best to lock in a new daily higher low on the weekly time frame. Again, 1 day's worth of trading action. 23.39 is that weekly level, so we came very close to it in that flush this morning. So if you were watching and waiting and were aware of that weekly level, you had a very good opportunity to get into a long position with minimal risk to your downside. To the downside. All right, daily time frame. So what we're looking for now is going to be continuation on today's candlestick. This is a pretty bull move, and we need a break over 24.46. If we're able to do that, we don't have a lot of resistance in the way, and we'll be expecting a lower high underneath 26.05 at this point. Anything under 26.05 is just going to be a new daily lower high, and we'll expect that trend to continue until it doesn't. So we just react to the information that's presented to us and capitalize on those quick trading opportunities. So far, bulls in control of the daily time frame. Bulls in control of today's candlestick, and what we would like to see is more upside confirmation and interest with a break over that 24.65 level. That's going to be really key for us to see continuation. INSG, this one is looking a little bit different here because we've established our daily higher low our daily low at 6. Let's start over. INSG is a little bit different because we came down, set our weekly higher low at 656. We saw bullish upside moves. We saw daily consolidation, and now we're trying to set this daily higher low at 723. So because we got our low, our lower high, our higher low, and our new higher high, we are looking at a daily trend change. So INSG is a little bit more bullish than the other names at this point. On the 4-hour time frame, we need to consolidate, and anything over 723 is going to be healthy for our consolidation. Hourly time frame support is at 776. Excuse me. So what we're going to look for, we're going to be some hourly consolidation. If we lose 776, we'll zoom out to the 4-hour time frame and look for that 4-hour higher low to form. ADI on the daily time frame, we have weekly support at 109.20. Big bull move today, but we need to see some continuation for that to really matter. We haven't changed the 4-hour trend yet. It's possible this is going to be 4-hour higher low, but we have a lot of resistance to get over here on the 4-hour time frame, and we have not changed the hourly trend. All we've done so far is establish that low and look for a new lower high. So what we need to do is now get a higher low over 110.45, and then we'll be interested in that trend change. So overall, I am most interested in MAXR for continuation and INSG. Those guys have INSG has that daily trend change in its favor, but we do need to watch out for a lower high under 863. That has the potential to give us a little bit of a head and shoulders type pattern with our high, higher high, and possible lower high right there. All right, that's it for today. Have a good one, guys.